begin, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a graduate of the University at Albany and Albany Law School. As Phil mentioned, I'm a captain in the Judge Advocate General's Corps. That's basically military attorneys. And I was mobilized for nearly a year at Fort Dix. My first job as an attorney was with the Governor's Office of Regulatory Reform in Albany. My primary responsibility was to review regulations from state agencies to ensure that they achieve the maximum benefit to the state at the smallest cost and burden to individuals and businesses. I currently serve as the compliance officer at Pioneer Bank, a local community savings bank which has served the Capital Region for over 120 years. As Phil mentioned, I've served on the Environmental Conservation Commission and currently serve on the Zoning Board of Appeals. All right. Over the last few months, I've been asked many, many times, quite simply, why are you running for the Assembly? People usually have a quizzical look, and it comes along the lines of, why would you want to join that body? Well, the answer that I always have for them is simple. I love this district, I love New York State, and I will fight for this district every day that I am in office. I promise you that. I am confident that I offer the leadership we need in the Assembly to stand up and fight for jobs, lower taxes, and less government. For the better part of my adult life, I have lived the Army values, such as integrity, selfless service, duty, and personal courage. I will live these values every day as your Assemblyman. I will not be afraid to speak my mind and be a strong, persuasive advocate for the people of this district in the Assembly, and I will never forget who are the people that I represent and serve. As New Yorkers, we face a crushing burden of taxes that impact us as individuals and as small businesses. We face a regulatory state that passes new laws which impose greater and more expensive mandates for businesses, often with no benefit to its citizens. Too often, it seems as if the politicians are more interested in issuing press releases that make it seem as if they care, as opposed to simply doing something about it. They're more interested in maintaining the status quo and keeping themselves in power. However, it's easy to campaign against high taxes, too much government, and the dysfunction in Albany. I think the people of this district expect more than that. As the neighbor of mine recently commented, talk is cheap, but living here in New York State sure is expensive. And he was right, and it still is expensive, and it's getting more expensive every day. And that's why I'm running. This year, I believe the voters will rally behind a candidate with the right ideas. I am a candidate who has seen how regulatory reform works and helped make it happen. When I was at the Governor's Office of Regulatory Reform, I worked with agencies to ensure that their rules accomplished public objectives without overly burdening businesses and adding increased costs. Something that you don't necessarily see a lot in Albany, we worked with business and treated them with respect. We didn't see them as the enemy or just simply a source of income for the state. In the private sector, working at Pioneer Bank, I have now experienced firsthand the burdens of our current system and have seen how new laws and taxes simply increase costs that force many businesses to leave the state. Too often, there's a system where Albany simply passes laws that may make for a good soundbite, but where the legislators fail to consider the cost or harmful impact that these laws will have. Little or no regard is paid for business and for the tax burden that we all must shoulder. As your Assemblyman, I pledge that I will consider all legislation in the context of its impact on jobs and allowing people to keep more of what they earn. Rather than simply talk about high taxes and burdensome laws, I will actively seek to reduce spending and the size of government, and I will seek to change laws that unfairly burden businesses and fight against tax increases and unfunded mandates. I support a limited government that does not spend beyond its means, which does not see its citizens as a never-ending ATM machine, and is committed to keeping its residents in New York State, instead of simply watching them flee to other states that do not tax and spend them into oblivion. I will serve my neighbors with integrity, with honor, and I promise I will make you proud. friends, this race will be challenging and hard-fought, and I know that I cannot be successful alone. To win this race will require a team effort, and I will work diligently to ensure cooperation between all of my neighbors in this district. For too long, my friends, we, all of us, have been ignored. And I promise you that as your assemblyman, we will not be ignored. We will have a voice in Albany, I promise you that. Not only will I walk our neighborhoods, knocking on doors and actively listening to people, but I will strongly encourage any interested voter to reach out and contact me. I promise that I will give this election everything that I have. And once I am your assemblyman, I will work non-stop to do the job the people elected me to do. The Army taught us one thing. I know Supervisor Barrett would say the same thing. You have a mission, and you do whatever it takes to accomplish the mission. I promise you, as your assemblyman, I will do whatever it takes, and I will not stop until the mission is accomplished. I would like to thank all of you very much for coming here this morning and being part of this occasion. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. It really has been an honor for me to announce my candidacy here. For all of you to be here, really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, means a great deal. I'm very grateful for your support. As you can tell, I feel very passionately about this race. This is an important year. I really do feel that there are key issues at stake, and we need to stand up and we need to fight for what we believe in. With the help of you, with the help of our neighbors, I know we'll be successful in November, and we can help restore people's faith in government. I would encourage everyone to please visit our website, jameswhalenforassembly.com.